Will we crush 2025? You bet. And you all know when I don't have my glasses on, I just make up anything with the 8 ball because we don't need the magic 8 ball to tell us that we're going to crush 2025. And so the last 100 days of 2025 are just about here. And our number one goal as a community is to just like hang tight together, and not only just survive it, get through it, but we're going to thrive through it. And the like main place that we're going to do that is touching base in these Tuesday emails. And so anyone who's not getting the Tuesday emails, you might want to, because that's where we're going to be touching base on all this stuff. But I'm doing today's live video just as like that announcement, but weekly will be in that email. And so the email, if you're not on the email list, it's in the description here. And so you can just sign up. And if you don't, you'll know, because if you get Tuesday emails from me, you got them, right? And then you're on the list already. And if not, you can get on the list. So, well, what a season that is about to come. I'm excited about this myself. And we have some special guests here. Backstage, we have Teresa and we have Georgia. But I want to spend a few minutes just talking a little bit about the 100 days for the community first. But a shout out to our community members, including Teresa, who crushed the last 100 days. So Teresa actually recognized that there was 100 days between Memorial Day and Labor Day. And then she just went in and just like completely crushed it. And so interestingly, it ends in a season in her life where she's then going to be in some like travel situations and some like more challenging things, and plus the holidays. And so how is she using, like maintaining that momentum to just like push through the fall of 2025. And so the rest of us watching her in the summer are getting all excited about how we're going to push our way through 2025. So, and we do this every year at Eat Like a Bear, but I feel like this year, I don't know, it feels like a little more special to me. Like, let's really get in and push. And maybe that's partly because I really need to push. And so I've already started on my because I'm up from a year ago when I had an injury. And I'm already started because I intend Tuesday, which is September 21st, which is the first day of the last 100 of 2025. I'm going to have momentum by then. And so there is no reason you can't start this very minute. All right. And so a special extra shout out to Carrie, who sent me back in the late spring. She sent me 10 mandala bears. And so this is just gorgeous art that Carrie did. This is amazing. And so so there's a symbolism of the bear, of course, of strength, but a mandala with its like circular motion design. What is the right word? So the circular form represents like this is the path to inner peace and to enlightenment. Okay. And it's just beautiful. And so I'm sending these out to people who've just like really like are crushed the summer in their own way, and including Teresa, of course, and Geraldine, Brenda, who both like it for them in this season. It hasn't been about the weight loss, but about like hanging in and getting through very big health issues. And so, just a shout out, Christy, B, Barbara, Kathy, Sue, can expect these in the mail. Oh, and in the mail, because Carrie must know me really well, because it would take me like 900 years just to figure out how to mail these, because these are kind of delicate. And so Carrie sent me boxes. And so let's see, it's September 17th. We'll just mark to see how long it still takes me to get these out. Okay. I know I'm becoming like a cartoon with this stuff, but for everyone who's checked in already, I have these cling stickers for you. They're not stickers because they cling, static. And I'm going to send those to you because people have already checked in on their summer, and everyone who did check in will get one. But also, have you not checked in? And maybe you haven't because you haven't even heard me ask you to check in. And so what you're going to do is respond to an email about checking in. And I'll send an email out tomorrow, Thursday, asking for you to check in. But if you got one like yesterday or whenever, you can always check in with that. And what I want to hear from you is how the summer went, just, a little bit about that, and what you're taking into the fall, like as your lesson and your focus for the fall. And I then hope to include some of your responses in the Tuesday email. And so if you entertain us or inspire us in some way, then you're guaranteed to get to get a cling. Okay. And so send us your update, and I'll send you a sticker as well. Again, is that what these are called? If they don't stick, but they stick with like static. Sticks with static. I don't know what it's called. Okay. So, but don't you want one? You need to email me to get one. Okay. Yes, you do. So, okay, we're going to need to know what your plan is for the fall. Okay. My plan is, so I'm losing weight. And so I'll briefly say my own personal plan for the 100 days. We're going to bring up Teresa. We're going to bring up Georgia and their plans for the 100 days. But mine, I mean, it's time. I'm tired of lugging around extra pounds. I'm sick of it. I know how to do it. The big thing that I've felt like with this focus is I recognize when I lost all that weight 7 years ago now, that I had such a strong start and like just powerfully with all this momentum. And I like it. I look back on it now and think that was really something, because I mean, I almost couldn't lose so long as I kept going and staying focused. But there was none of this like false starts, like stop, slow, whatever, none of that stuff. It just like, whoa. And I started with kind of in a radical way with a long water fast. I'm not doing that this time, but I recognize that long water fast really like it was powerful. And that this time, so that I don't like let my focus, like I don't end up with attention issues. I don't know. I felt like in the last months, like a problem with it and really getting strong momentum is like I'll end up doing this or doing that instead, and some various health related things. And so now it's like, okay, I need that momentum, because once you have the momentum, you guys, it's actually like you just get going. You do it. Becomes easy. Easier. And you start to kind of thrive in that, like the fire of the momentum. And so I've lined everything up to just like be all in, 100% in. And I've actually been hanging out with my dad every day and eating at his place. He's in another town where I go, and I have a physical therapy thing I'm doing for the next couple of weeks there daily, weekdays. And so I'm like, okay, let me work it in. Like, though it's a pain to go there, like, okay, let's lean into the inconvenience of this. And my dad and I now have, I don't know, a daddy-daughter fat farm to get us started. He was already started. He's doing great. He's really, really, really doing great. It's amazing. So and we should get him on here one of these times. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. And then the 100 days, and then if I'm not done, I'm going to keep going from there, because I mean, it's the momentum that's the most powerful asset you end up with. And so we might have to work hard on the front end to gain that. But then don't let go. Ooh, that's my biggest thing to anyone here. Don't let go of it once you get it. Okay. And that's when that's these 100 days. It's any other 100 days. It's any time, like 100 days is over. Don't keep going. Just keep going. Whew, absolutely. Okay. And that said, so I'm going in with all kinds of fire and I'm losing weight. That's what I'm doing. But if you were it is completely legitimate and great if your goal for the 100 days is not to eat cookies in the break room, or to take one thing that you tend to do during the holiday season and like, I'm not doing that anymore. That would be really, really great. Think about like if we did that every year for 10 years, how much easier our life would be if we're like, oh yeah, no, I don't eat the cookies in the break room. I would eat the stupid cookies in the break room. I mean, would that change your life? I don't have a break room, so it wouldn't matter to me, but it would matter to a lot of people. Okay, so that is perfectly good goal too. So if you're not like all in, like losing like all these pounds in 100 days, that is okay. That is okay. Because we all have great potential to gain in these 100 days. We know we do. This is the entire spirit of these 100 days. Okay, I am going to look real quick at comments. And oh, how wonderful, you guys. So we've got Anasul here. We've got Alice, Rosemary, Debbie. Let's see. Oh, and Rosemary started last week. Yeah. Hey, I mean, now Tuesday, day one, is a really, really great way to start. Great day. Great day. But yeah, why not start sooner? Why not? All right. Inertia is powerful. Yeah, like so an endocrinologist told me recently, like as we are gaining fat, it's kind of its own momentum. And so it's harder to shift to losing. And so we may really need to just go in like crazy. It made me really think about 2017 differently, because I'd never heard of that before. But in fact, I did like crazy go in and just like take no prisoners kind of thing. And that would have shifted that momentum that I might like the gaining, like the biological urge to keep gaining got shifted. Whew. Wow. Which could be a reason, like if you regain, especially a good bit of weight, you could, I mean, that's its own momentum. But momentum you have control over, just may take good effort. May take the daddy daughter fat camp. So, okay. And Brenda's here, and Alice says she's in for the 100 days. That is awesome. Awesome, you guys. Super. Okay. Now let's bring up Georgia and Teresa. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. If I disappear real quick, I'm waiting for a neighbor to come get something real quick. So
I love that story you posted about your neighbor.
Oh, he is such an awesome young man, 88 years old. And he's the one that just lost his wife a couple of months ago. And he's having a hard time. They were married for 62 years.
Well, now, Georgia, so before you get pulled away, you've been just like underwater for weeks, a month, a long time. Felt like forever.
5 weeks.
And so you're shifting back into regular life. And so in doing so, what is your plan for this next season, this 100 days?
As soon as I got back to the house, which the RV is a house now, we cleaned out the fridge, cleaned out the pantry, and we went grocery shopping. No contraband. I told Calvin, no way. She's here.
Okay. We'll pick up with Georgia maybe later if Georgia comes back. So, but I'm gonna remove Georgia from there, and we'll talk to Teresa, who inspired all of us this summer. And I think too, let's remember, so as we hear Teresa's story, but also like as a reminder that like there Teresa was like just crushing it, and we're all watching her. And now I don't know how many of us are just ready now, Teresa, because of you, which just shows how this works, and this inspired, in fact, like the Tuesday email. Let me email 70,000 people and see who wants to do this. And then, send out some stickers or whatever these are called. And then just see how many other people might start, I don't know, getting going and re-going or whatever they're doing. So thank you, Teresa. And you will be receiving hopefully very, very soon.
I'm so excited.
These are just, I don't feel like the digital show really does justice to them. They're lovely. They're truly, truly lovely. We should all be artists. I say I should, and I'm not. So anyway, Teresa, so give us a little summary on, for anyone who hasn't heard, on your summer and then your upcoming 100 days.
Yeah, it's funny because I got the email that asked, who's crushing it in 2025. And I thought, well, there are people who would say I have been crushing it in 2025, but I have been crushing it since Memorial Day weekend in 2025. Before that, I was absolutely not crushing it. I was in a period of regain, and it was probably doing that thing where it was, spiral. And I was trying to get a handle on it. Wait, where did Amanda go?
I have no idea.
Well, your
That's
camera's
strange.
gone, and I was just worried that we lost you completely. That would be bad.
Yeah, no
Um,
idea. Oh, I
yeah.
think Anna's saying Anna came back. Maybe she's just waving. Maybe she did it. I don't know.
But yeah, so it was like an 8-month period of regaining weight, which, look back on and you feel like, why in the heck did I do that? And so I'm in the complete opposite mode right now where I'm so tired of doing that to myself. I'm just going to finish this silly thing that I've been trying to do, like most of us, all of our life, right? So at some point I thought Memorial Day, for whatever reason, has always been a day when I always got back on track if I was off track. I wasn't off track always, but I was this year a little bit. And I realized there was about 100 days between Memorial Day weekend and Labor Day. And I mentioned that, and I just started, counting those days. And I really started about 6 days before that. So, there was 100 days, but I had +6 on there. And every day was following my plan that I know works for me, that follows the Eat Like a Bear framework that I first tried in the 3-day challenge back in 2020, when I got some random woman showing up on Facebook with this idea. And I thought, well, that sounds nuts, but I can try that for 3 days, and after about a day and a half, I thought, oh, this works. I can do this 1 meal a day thing, and I can eat far fewer carbs. I thought I was low carb, but I was not as low carb as I am now. And it worked then in 2020, worked great. I started in July. So I went through the holidays, not perfect, but I remember that first year I lost probably 20 pounds during the final quarter. So when you were saying, if your goal is just to not eat the cookies in the break room, I thought you were going to say just to not gain. That's so important, because we don't want to end up in January having to catch up because we're already behind. So don't be behind. In fact, I was going to post about this on September 30th, because September 30th is a big day for me, not in ELAB, but back in 2007. So this is a long time ago. I'm also really old. So I've been trying to lose weight for, a really long time. But back in 2007, I remember, and I have a picture somewhere that I will find, that was when I was at my heaviest. And for whatever reason, on September 30th of that year, I said, this is it. I need to stop this silliness, and I'm starting today. It didn't matter that it wasn't a Monday and I hadn't shopped. I just said, I can make the decision. And again, it wasn't ELAB, but I remember that day so vividly because my husband said, really? Halloween's just around the corner, and then Thanksgiving, and then Christmas. You should wait and start at the beginning of the year. And I said, nope. And I didn't. And I mean, I weighed over 400 pounds at that point in time, and I didn't have a scale that would weigh me, but I had a scale that went to 400. And so I would get on there and check and wait for it to get under 400. And it did in that final period of the year, that year. And so I always think back about, how many years had I myself said, I'll just wait till the beginning of the year. And when my husband said that, I just, was kind of defiant. I should have been more defiant like that since 2007, and I wouldn't still be here, getting closer to done, but still not done. So my 100-day plan is kind of to do the same thing, because, momentum is frustrating because it makes you not want to, deviate. And even though you thought you wanted to, I remember distinctly thinking after the 100 days, I'll probably open a bottle of wine and have a glass of wine. And then I look at it and I see all the green days on my calendar, because that's what I do. I mark them in green on my Excel spreadsheet calendar. And I look at them and I think, I'm not going to open a bottle of wine because I don't want to fill in that first day that's not green. And so I haven't done it. So the momentum is fabulous, but it's also frustrating because it gives you don't have license to license to cheat sounds weird, but license to treat, whatever. You don't have license to, well, I shouldn't have that license anyway, but it's just, my 100 days are over. I lost 31 pounds in 100 days, in case we wanted that report total. I think it was 31.2. I should go, have a cocktail. And it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And that's weird. I don't know what's going to happen over the holidays. My holiday plan is still kind of in flux, but I want to repeat the success I had back in my first ELAB year, where I did lose weight over that period. And I didn't completely go off the rails, like I will confess I've done in the last few years. You make progress for 7-8 months, and then I tanked it in the last quarter of the year. That's not happening this year. And if that doesn't happen, then sometime next year, I really could possibly be at what I consider my goal weight. And then I get to figure out how to maintain it for the rest of my life. So that's my report.
Well, awesome, Teresa. So yeah, and I think we're going to have like this momentum talk sometime, and think about like different cases of our own cases of, in our lives where we're feeling this, like, you feel I don't know, it's that both a positive momentum and whatever the opposite of it is, like the downward spiral into and feeling really stuck. And so how to break out of that, and like that extra bit that we can do. So that might be even more extra than like just being strict with the 3-day challenge, which is, I think, typically enough for a lot of people, and was enough for me when in these 7 years when I needed to lose like some pounds or whatever, was always enough. Like, but I feel like maybe there's times when we need even more. So we'll have to revisit that. But let me just look at comments really quick. Oh, what? So finally caught alive, watching from another cruise. Okay, see, we need comments like that. Everyone is required to go out in these 100 days and go on a cruise or go on something and then report back. We need that. Okay. And Carolyn. So hi from Virginia. Carolyn says Carolyn is assigned to go car camping and report back. She is our car camper, our chief car camper. Okay. Let's see. And Trisha says, I lost 5 stone in weight following Eat Like a Bear with a few tweaks. Good. Everyone should tweak as they need. That is great. Regained a stone. Okay. So then Trisha, thank you, Trisha, for keeping like the math easy or whatever. 5 stones is 70 pounds. Okay. Thank you.
Right.
And so she's regained a bit due to thyroid, but you're back on it. And that is great, Trisha. That is wonderful. So wonderful. And B is saying, one day, one bite so often starts the momentum the wrong way. Have to really work to regain the positive momentum, but it's so worth it. And to Teresa's point about having like the celebratory wine or something like that, which anyone can do at any time, and it's anyone's own decision. But when I was going through my rapid weight loss and lost like that, I lost 100 pounds in 8 months and 140 in about a year. And to me, it was so extraordinary. And I was just doing it in my own little vacuum. Like this is before Eat Like a Bear. So this was the beginnings of Eat Like a Bear before I even knew about it. But anyway, as I was doing it, I was like so stunned and excited by the results I was getting. I was not giving that up. Like, to me, as I would face that celebration, because Thanksgiving came on and then Christmas, and there were a lot of opportunities. But I was like, nope. Whatever it is, don't jinx it. It was that kind of like that, like, well, I don't know how it's going to affect it. And I'm so glad I did that, because I do wonder how it would have really affected that momentum. And also, had I started to stall like around 100 pounds down, which would have been 180 pounds, that to me would have been like a kicking great weight. And it is, except how much better is 140? Who wouldn't rather be 140 than 180? I'm 5'3", so that's 140 is not, I could have been 120. And so had I stopped at 180, I know I would have just gotten complacent there. And especially if it would have taken like this extra energy to get going again, I don't think I would have ever seen 140. And I probably would have said, oh, yeah, well, I can't get to 140 because I never have. But I just, that momentum just kept carrying me. And so, by the way, you heard this here first, but I'm looking for 130 because why not? Why not? So like, I'm just going to just take the momentum that I get. I'm going to keep going till it's all gone. All of it. That's what I'm doing. Okay. So that's the cautionary tale on like the bottle of wine. And it's not to scare anyone about a bottle of wine, but like really, if you have this powerful thing going on, I don't even know what all's involved in it. And maybe some of it is up here. And if it is, and that wine starts to play with my head, then I'm like, don't drink the wine. I don't know. So, yep.
And I'm just so used to playing games with myself, right? And here, I think I called it pre-excusing, where I'm making an excuse for something that hasn't happened yet. And I posted about that, I'm going on these business trips. I always do stuff on business, I always do things on business trips. And plenty of people, posted back, but you don't have to do that. Like, stop, you guys are stopping me from, treating myself or whatever. It's this weird struggle because I'm just used to, having this, well, here's an excuse. And that's what I said to my doctor too. It's like, you're doing great. You've lost 10 pounds a month in these 2 months, I guess it's been. And my next appointment is in 3 months. And I said, well, I'm just going to tell you right now, I won't have lost 30 pounds in those 3 months. And he said, well, why not? And I said, business trips. And he said, so, and I thought, dang it, he's also doing it. So I guess I need to get on the train of, not making the excuses in advance. And because, the momentum is a powerful thing. We'll see.
And what you're calling the excuses in advance. So for me, what I've learned for myself is when I start to say things like that, oh yeah, well, I know I'm going to eat whatever it is at whatever time in the future. It's 100% a fact. It's that once I have it in my mind that, yeah, I do those sorts of things, there's no doubt when I get there, I'm eating that thing. No doubt. And so if I feel like in advance, if I feel like really I shouldn't eat it, I have to do work like the self-talk and to just make a plan and then stay strict with it, because otherwise I'll just eat it. And so what I've also learned is if I start thinking like, yeah, I'm going to eat it or whatever, okay, go eat it, because I know I'm gonna. So why bother with a fight? Just go eat it. I don't know, whatever the consequence is, So realizing the consequence, whatever it is, learning the consequences along the way, re-updating the strategy based on the consequences I might have learned the last time, all of that. So all of that helps. And it helps reduce the struggle.
Yeah. And it's true because I know right now I'm not eating the airplane cookies. I mean, we talked about the airplane cookies and how much I love them. And I mean, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, if I'm going to say no, thank you, if I'm going to put them in my bag and maybe, down the road. I just know I am not eating the airplane cookies. Because I've told myself that, and that won't change. I mean, I'll come back and post if something happened and I ate the cookies, but that's what I've been telling myself. And I just know I'm not going to. So, it's weird. I feel somebody posted one thing, who is this woman? And I feel like that sometimes like, wait, why am I'm having that thought? Like I didn't eat my whole meal yesterday. It's like, I'm full. I can't eat all this food. And I thought, who are you? It's so in a good way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I get that. That hits. Okay. And Anna says, the splurging that doesn't derail you is kind of identity changing. I don't splurge on stuff that hurts me. I mostly splurge on decadent proteins and specialty greens. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. And we can actually talk to Anna about this in person because here she is. And George is back too. So we'll bring everyone up. Okay, there we go. Good morning, Anna.
Good morning.
And so tell us your plan for the 100 days.
I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing, and I think it's working for me. I mean, like I said, I haven't been really getting on the scale. I did get on once, and it seems like I'm going back and forth a little bit, but it's lower than it was before. So that's a good thing. And also I feel different. I feel like I can almost see my clavicles, I feel like I have more muscle and I'm less puffy. So I fully believe that if I get down to my low weight again, that even if I'm 10 pounds over that, if I have more muscle, I'll be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And so last night, as I laid in bed, I felt stronger. And I was like,
Yeah.
it kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, lean into that, like take that feeling and gobble it up and take note of it. And just like picture yourself in your new, strong, vital life,
Yes.
you know?
That's been the big key for me. One thing I am not gonna skimp on is meditating. I am practicing for success is what I'm doing. We a lot of times we practice for when the disaster happens or when this happens or that, and it's not that healthy. It's not that helpful. So I've been like sitting there or laying there, picturing what it feels like to wake up with energy, picturing what it feels like to thrive, just like everything, like all the senses. I'm like actually feeling it. And if you really get in there, and you can do it with other stuff too, like a feeling of love in your heart or just that beautiful place that you like to visit. And if you just like put yourself in there, your body does not know the difference. And it can completely change your life. I've been in what would have been a very stressful situations. And since I've been doing more of the meditating, I was fine. So that's huge, especially because as I found out after I started fasting and eating differently, I have been an emotional eater. So anything I can do to help with the emotions, to help with the nervous system, it's going to help me. And it is. It is helping me. So that's what I'm, the main thing is I'm going to be meditating. I'm going to, whenever possible, do my eating in the daytime. I did find that I still did fine as long as it was really like greens heavy. Like I had some cabbage, like a huge cabbage salad, and that was at night, but it didn't hurt me. I think all that fiber and the water really makes a big difference. It makes a difference on what you eat. Which types of the big salad or big meals you eat. For me, I think the really big ones that have lots of cabbage and I've been putting fresh herbs in there too. So I'm getting the flavor, I'm getting the bulk. That really helps. But I do better if it's in the day. And I just can't do that every time. It just depends on what the schedule is for that week. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I'm moving my body. I've been to the gym. I did just an unthinkable thing. I've been getting up at 5 a.m. and going to the gym at 5:30 and meeting somebody helps because you don't want to let them down, even if you're not sure about letting yourself down.
Yeah, that's great. I'm working on integrating a lot more exercise. So in 2017, I started by doing none. I was just on the
Right.
couch,
Yeah.
which is that's legit,
Oh, yeah.
everybody. Like that works.
Sure.
Like, yeah, but now it's like I'm coming out of this like muscular.
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And for anybody who is on the couch, you can still do breathing exercises on the couch. You can still visualize on the couch. You can visualize doing whatever, and it's still going to fit you. And the breathing really helps too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that, but a big part of my maintaining the weight all those years was that I did get out and I hiked. And so when I was first down, like 100 pounds, that's when I really started hiking, and then lost another 40, kept hiking all these years, and hadn't really appreciated how much I had like become conditioned, like physically conditioned in all those years. That thank goodness I've gotten kind of deconditioned in the last year. And that's what makes me think about it more and realize like I'm probably at the conditioned state of like where I was after losing like the 100 or so, 120 or whatever, that like the beginning of the hiking.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to get my brain back there. Okay, you're a beginning hiker now. You're not, so hike like a beginning hiker. Don't go out and hurt yourself. Cause
For sure.
As you might remember, I injured myself. So like, don't do that anymore. So, but the thinking about it made me realize, oh, I really did make progress all those years and didn't really, because
Yeah.
I wasn't counting or tracking, didn't
Right.
appreciate it. But that muscle, that matters. For one thing, it burns calories, so you can eat more.
Yeah. And I think it'll be easier as long as you don't overdo it. It'll be easier to get back there because you know it's possible and you know what it feels like.
No, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. That before I wasn't aiming for anything. And so once you start aiming for it, you can definitely get back there faster. Yeah.
I did not write down the name of that book that you said. I started to look for it. I'm like, I don't think I have the right name. And I'll tell you, after I was doing all that meditating and I was thinking about like my heart and everything, I went outside and it's almost like the trees were talking to me. Just a little walk downtown. That's all it was in the city.
So shout out to everybody. Everyone needs this book, and it's called Nature and the Mind. And it's, oh, I have it right here. Let me show you.
Oh, cool. That'll help.
And
Nature and the Mind.
author, the author is, he's PhD in, I'm trying to remember what his PhD is in, but he's a primary researcher. So some of his studies are in this, but it's a review of other studies as well. He's a very good communicator. I feel like it's a great book in writing, but also the audio version is really, it's a book that translates into both forms really well. But what he does is he provides research on some very basic points. Like for instance, so there was a study of people recovering from gallbladder surgery where some of the patients were put in rooms with windows that looked out onto brick walls and others in rooms that looked out onto trees. And we're not talking about like gorgeous views of Yosemite. We're just talking about some trees. Mm-hmm. And so shockingly, they then looked at their difference in recovery, that the people with views of trees recovered nearly a day sooner than the people with brick walls, and that they needed less pain medication. And so that's just one example. But there's a lot of studies, some that he's done in this book, that show, for instance, your cognitive improvement, like doing like a cognition puzzle kind of exercise, the improvement in that, if they've measured it by like, they'll give the test right now and then send someone out on either a nature walk or in one group, like through town, and come back, have them do the puzzle or whatever it is again. And then like next week, they send people, they do the same kind of structure, but send the nature people to the town and then the town people to nature. And so the designs of the study are really fascinating and very powerful. And what they're showing is like our cognition can improve by just exposure to nature. Our physical health can improve. Our social interactions can improve. And his basic, like the basic theory is, and this is the part that I find the most helpful, because I'm 100% here for these findings already. Like I am so predisposed to this, but what I found especially interesting is why. Like, why is it that just going outside? Come on, why? Like, oh, okay, I can relax more. Okay, why? Why can't I relax looking at a brick wall? Why can't I relax like in total darkness? Why? Like, what is it? Is there something about nature? And he really gets into that. Yeah. And so I direct you guys to the book, but one of his basics, if I can even explain this now without much preparation, I've been only reading the book like 17 times, but, and it's very simple, but I am not.
It helps it's like watching over and over. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, yeah. He gives an example of himself, and this one really resonated with me and helps me understand his point a little bit more. But he talks about this time when he was struggling with depression. And so he was supposed to be in this like networking meeting, and instead he went out to the Arboretum and like hung out by a big oak tree and just like, let his mind be clear. And as he stood there and, just watching the leaves rustle, just something like that, and had like the clarity of mind that in the process of that, like cleansing your mind of all like the chaos that you just walked from, and it's just cleansing, that your own mind will then like find your path, your solutions. And in his case, he recognized that he was really going down like the pit of depression. And so cleared his mind. And in being out there by that tree, realized, you know what I need to do is I need to go to my parents for the weekend and take it easy. And it was a couple other things, really obvious things, like if any of us would have said, like, known him at the time, like, hey, Mark, go to your parents, duh, go to your parents. But he couldn't see because
not when you're in the middle of it. Yeah.
Yeah, we never can see it. That's why we're stuck. I mean, that's what's, driving it. And so he goes out, he's able to clear his mind. And then these obvious things come up and fill his mind. And he's like, yeah, I need to go to my parents. And so he goes to his parents. So he did the things. So he got the clarity to do those simple things, and he did them. And it just like flipped the switch for him. And I think that we can, if we get it's very hard when you're depressed. It's hard when, this is the whole problem. If we can get the discipline of realizing, wow, what if I walk out to this tree, or like, there's some grass right here. What if I laid on the grass and I just looked at the blades of grass, and a little gust of wind would come and I'd see one like flicker like this. Like if I just like focused on that, would my mind clear? It would. I can tell you it would. Yeah. And then whatever the things I've been kind of struggling with or whatever, would something pop in my mind that's like a solution? Yeah. Like, it does. Mm-hmm. And so I think to read the book and to understand like those very basic things, and why, because we have to be mm-hmm. active participants in it. We have to let go of, like, if we're ruminating on something, like, I'm letting go of the rumination because right now I'm just like cleansing my mind and looking at the blades of grass or whatever. Anyway, so everyone should get the book, Nature in the Mind. Yeah.
I'm going to now. I wrote it down.
Yeah. It's good. It's really simple. I mean, it's kind of interesting because it's like with Eat Like a Bear, like, let's all go, we could eat for $10 a day if we had to, we wouldn't be eating. People were talking about the prime rib or whatever, but we wouldn't be eating the prime rib on $10 a day, but we could. And the same thing with like nature. It costs nothing to walk outside and look at a blade of grass. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Okay. And so let's look at comments, because guys, we're about out of time.
I know.
And but
Did
now we
Georgia
haven't
finish.
Yeah. Let us know, Georgia. We got to hear Georgia's plan.
Well, we cleaned out everything, and we went grocery shopping, and it's like I told him, no contraband, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There is no contraband, and that's what we call the bad things. And so far, he is striving to get down to his 210, and he's almost there. And I want to get back down to my lowest that I got when I lost that 125 pounds. And I know I can do it. But so far I've lost 2, he's lost 3. So it's good. And Sue made her post today about attitude and mindset. And you set your mind. You did it when you first started, Amanda, and I did. I was on a mission. And I never dreamed in my wildest dreams, as far as moving, that I'd be participating in a 5K. I'm going like, I don't know who that is, but Shelly pushed me. Shelly kept encouraging me, telling me that I could do it. And before I knew it, walking past the mailbox, and then a half a block, and then the whole block, and it was like, don't ever say you can't do something. I might not be able to do it right now, but I'm going to try. Don't ever give up on yourself. You keep trying and keep pushing, because this person that was headed for a wheelchair and could barely get out to the mailbox all of a sudden is walking 3 miles, and just a matter of a few months. Is like that question, who is that person? I don't know who that person is. I asked myself that about turning 70. How did that happen? When did that happen? So it's like, but yeah, it's mindset. You've got to make up your mind if you want it bad enough. And, there's a lot of people that say, well, if you lose weight, if you just don't want it bad enough. That is wrong. Just because you might not be able to achieve it right now, it doesn't mean you don't want it bad enough. You do, but you just have to believe in yourself that you can do it and just never give up. But that's our plan. We started early. I started 123 days in, and so far it's, if I added all of them up, probably about 3.5 pounds is what I've lost so far. So Calvin and I are digging in. We're digging
Cool.
it in.
Very good. That's great. That is great. Okay. Well, so everyone's going to report in about their plans for the 100 days by email. And thank you for the reports that are already in. Like I said, noted, and I got them, and I'm sending you all a cling. So, and I'm excited to hear other plans, like, again, big or small. Like, I think it's powerful to like the idea of, I'm not going to eat the cookies in the room. If that's your thing for this year, I think that's great. But as Teresa said, yeah, not gaining is a good one. Yeah. Well, and honestly, a skill of like maintaining through the holidays is, that's a legit skill right there. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. But some of us are losing. So.
And I would encourage everybody, like that book, it's a fantastic book. Go put your feet in the grass every day. We have sand out here, a few blades of grass. Go stick your feet in the dirt. I mean, the energy that you're going to find, just because you're not thinking about anything else, you're thinking about that dirt that's touching your feet. And if you don't think go out and do it. Because when you put your feet in that grass, that's all you're thinking about is putting your feet in the grass. You're not thinking about anything else that's going on in your world except what you're doing right then. And that's powerful energy. Soak it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Well,
sun too. I always feel like when I do that, just the sun hitting me just gives me energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't lay out in the sun or get too much exposure, but sometimes I do. And I just like imagine like inflammation coming off of my body, like the heat off of asphalt, how you can kind of see it.
Right.
Like, can you imagine like the inflammation? So, yeah.
Sunscreen. If you go outside, I have to be real careful because I've got a lot of skin cancer thingy going on. But sunscreen, go out, and you don't have to spend all day out in it. Go out there and soak up about 4 or 5 minutes of it, and you'll be rejuvenated.
Yeah. Well, and I do think with intention. So we have to shut down the ruminating thoughts and then go out, and maybe we'll have ideas about how we will replace those ruminating thoughts with some other positive thoughts in the process.
Yeah, I mean, just like we can have an imagination about everything going wrong, we can have an imagination about how good could it be, or what could I be surprised with, or how wonderful. It's the same part of the brain. It's just the other side. And when you have that creativity about creating something beautiful and wonderful, the other ruminating goes on the back burner.
Well, something related that's been helping me lately is this idea of where do I want to be in 5 years or 10 years or whatever the timeline is, doesn't matter that much, but like, what does my life look like?
Yeah.
And if my life looks like that, what is it that I did all these years to get there? And so realizing the things I'm doing today are the things that are getting me there. And it really helps me. It's kind of like, oh, what's the story you're going to be telling in 5 years from now about the last 5 years? I mean, do we want the story that, oh, I just kept struggling with the cookies in the break room? I think that's a terrible
like if we
story.
don't plan and hope and dream, we get whatever we get. It's just a default. Do we want the default, or do we want like what we want?
Yeah.
I think we can write our story.
Live with intention. Live with intention.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, where are you going? And then if you know where that is, it's the whole thing about if I know I'm going to be 100 pounds less in a year, I also know that I didn't eat a cookie, so that means that today I'm not eating a cookie. Like if
Yeah.
I'm in that universe where I'm 100 pounds, like,
Oh,
there really
if
are.
I'm
like-
feeling wonderful, do I really need a cookie? And I mean, me personally, if I eat the cookie, I know how I'll feel, so I don't want that. That helps, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay.
mm.
Mm. Okay. Okay, everyone. The deep dinners are headed into chill skills.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a quick little, which you'll find, so it's the hub link, which is
Mhm.
pinned at the top of the water cooler in the deep
And
den.
there's also an event for chill skills that you could do too on the event
Right.
tab.
There's an event tab, at least on the computer. I wonder if it's on the
Yeah.
phones
I-
or the.
I think
It
there's
is.
it might not be a tab, it might just be in the list on the side.
On
Yeah.
the directory.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm looking
And-
now.
And basically we're just practicing. We're practicing how to feel better, like in our skins.
How to breathe.
Yeah, we're breathing. We're finding ways to feel better no matter what happens. And we're also working with our bodies a little, like with the fascia and with the lymphatic massage. And then we also do some tapping or some meditation. And it's a very short, it's usually an hour. Today will be just a few minutes less than an hour. And it makes a very big difference in my life to have these skills in my pocket. So that I feel, and honestly, if I'm practicing this every day, I'm feeling better. Like the low is not as low, Yeah. So
Yeah.
come join us and we'll practice.
Yes.
Yeah, and so because the event tab is always an easy way to find it too. And so it's
Mhm.
on the top of a computer screen across the top, there's an event tab, and you can even look at past events. So like this live video link will be in the past events, but
Mhm.
also I'm just on the app. And I'm seeing here see if I can,
There it goes.
you can see, well, okay. On the spaces list, there's live events.
Live events. Yeah.
Right there.
And just know that if you look in the past events or the upcoming events and you see chill skills, if you click on where it says chill skills, you can, even if you missed it, you can go through there and you can see all of these links I have there for you. If you just click on the chill skills, and then you can just go down and see all of the stuff that I have there for you.
Yeah.
So
It's
videos
amazing.
about breathing. There's a playlist with some relaxing kind of music, encouraging music, and there's lots of stuff you can do, even if you can't make it.
Yeah, so you'll definitely get a sense of what it is from reading her post. Yeah, and you'll see others, and there's like a weekly weigh-in this Saturday. You'll
Yeah.
see. Yeah, go to the events tab. Okay, cool.
I didn't know
today-
all this stuff was there. This is great.
Yeah,
Oh,
we keep figuring it out.
yeah, no, because no, it's kind of new. It's maybe since
Mhm.
May, or I don't know, because there was a glitch with it for a while, so we
Right.
weren't using it, but it started actually working more like late spring of this year, I'd say, something like
Mhm.
that. Yeah. So yeah, it's very handy. Very handy. Yeah.
And we're still looking for people to come to the Texas meetup.
Oh yeah.
It's posted
So
in the
what-
water cooler and the on the regular Facebook page for Eat Like a Bear. It's October the 11th. It'll be 11 to 3, and it's going to be in Horseshoe Bay, which is close to Marble Falls, Austin area. And we need more people to come, please.
Yep. I'm going to email
A
people.
lot of
For sure.
Okay.
You won't regret it because you'll get to give Georgia a hug.
hugs, hugs.
And we'll get to hug other bears, and Teresa, you'll be there too, right? Maybe.
think
She's,
so.
she's not sure
It depends,
because of
huh?
trips and everything.
Right,
I
right,
know
right.
Coming, and Christy will be there.
Emily's
Me
coming.
and I think there's 3 or 4 others. We've had a few
Okay.
bounce
Did you say
because
Tina's coming? Is that who you said was coming? Tina?
No, Emily,
Emily. Okay.
Oh,
Emily, Christy.
good,
Yeah,
good.
Emily.
That'll be
Tina
good.
could be a surprise. That's just I'd be over. the
You
moon
never
if
know
Tina-
where Tina is.
That's
That would be a
right.
huge surprise.
She'll just
That-
pop up.
Yeah, truly. Truly. Okay. Well, very good. Okay, you guys, 4 minutes to the chill skills. Catch everybody Tuesdays, email. But like 100 days, we're doing it. Okay. And then all of the Den resources will, it's all about the 100 days. So we got this, you guys. Okay. Okay, everyone take care. Love you guys. Thanks everyone for coming today.
Bye.